And it is Rob that's won the lag. Will get us underway in the first frame.
Yeah, he wouldn't have wanted to start dry there. He didn't hit that as hard as he has been.
Yeah, we've seen a mix of techniques. Some people have found that taking a bit of the pace off has actually worked better. Not so much on that occasion.
No, I mean, they've split really well, as you know. The yellows are looking pretty good there.
Tough draw this for Rob. Stevie Dempsey, one of the players of the last couple of years, was there or thereabouts at the business end of tournaments.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, once you get to this sort of stage, and even in the earlier rounds, they're all tough draws. Some tougher than others, but yeah, it's a tricky one. But he's more than capable of, pulling off the victory.
Nice match to win this. It's the third of the matches the players will have played today. You kind of feel once you get through to the Saturday, get through to the last 8, you're really at the business end of the tournament. It's also kind of nice scheduling because you get this one out of the way tonight, and then I think this will be one of the later matches on tomorrow, so you kind of got the morning off to look forward to it. Come back, going to play all the way down to the final tomorrow night. It's going to be some atmosphere, isn't it, for the final? It's a brilliant arena we've got here. So many people around the venue for the other events. You can imagine we should have a big crowd in tomorrow night.
Yeah, 100%. I think once you get to a stage of like the last 8, you really feel like you're in the event. Like you say, the crowd will be there. There's plenty of seating down the sides of the table, so you can be really close to the action, as well as the tiered seating. There's quite a few in the last match. So yeah, it's going to be packed tomorrow. Good atmosphere. Looking forward to it.
And you want it to be the pinnacle. We've got 70 tables next door in the main room where all the challengers are playing. So many of those guys will be out there thinking one day this could be them appearing in this arena. It's kind of what you play for. So everyone has different standards. For some guys it's a bit of fun and it's an experience. But so many of them will be dreaming of turning pro one day.
Of course, and that should be the aspiration for all the players, just to get to this sort of staging, it's an incredible feeling. It's just an unbelievable setup.
This match being played to the same format we've seen throughout the day. 50 minutes on the match clock, 30 seconds on the shot clock, dropping down to 15 seconds if we get into the last 10 minutes of the match. It is a race to 8, so first to 8 wins, or if the match clock gets down to 0, that will be the score. I don't think we've seen any 6 red shootouts yet today, but that's a possible outcome if the scores are drawn when the match clock gets down to 0.
Yeah, I'm not sure my nerves could take a 6 red shootout watching my brother run around like a lunatic. I don't think he'd want that either. Hopefully he can make a good start here. All these reds go. Hopefully take these out, he can settle him down and kick on from there.
He's obviously very experienced, not so much at this particular format in this particular arena, but he's done a lot of stuff in the game, so I'm sure he won't be fazed by this situation.
No, he'll thrive in this. He kind of likes to be the main character in every room he goes to, so he'll enjoy this and he'll try his best as always. He's been playing solid all day. Already knocked out 2 good quality opponents, so he'll be thriving in this situation.
Yeah, he's had a tough route through, hasn't he? Coming through a deciding frame against Chris Day. And former world champion John Rowe, an 8-5 victor in that match. I think sometimes when you have a deciding frame early on, you almost feel like you've got away with one when you get through. It gives you almost like a new life in the tournament. You want to kick on from there.
Yeah, definitely. Deciders are not nice, but if you do come through, like lifts you another 20%. I don't know why that feeling is, but it's always there. It's just overran the white a little bit there, but he can get across for the black.
Yeah, nothing really to do with the pot itself, but it's just thinking about how to get that good position.
Yeah, the cloths are really grippy. He can get on this no problem with his cue action. He can even double it into the middle, I think. I'm not sure if the yellow makes it a bigger bag. I think it does. You can actually play a cross double if you wanted. I think he's going for the middle. No.
Yeah, that was a tough cut, wasn't it? You could see, couldn't see very much of the pocket.
No, I think I'd have preferred the double over that, to be honest. It was a bit of a nudgy one.
Unfortunately for him, he's left a pretty routine layout for Stevie.
Yeah, I mean, this should be frame over.
Well, not entirely as played, but he'll take that nudge on the yellow.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a race to 8, so it's a long match, but obviously it is always nice to get the first frame on the board.
Yeah, it just helps you settle down and make you feel comfortable in the arena, on the main table.
Certainly Stevie's second match and a bye in the first round was scheduled to play against Jordan Shepherd, who's not here this weekend. I think, in a sense, that's probably a bye you're quite happy to have. That's not the easiest of first round starts.
No. Shepherd's some player. One of my favourites to watch, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, he's just such an entertaining player, isn't he?
Yeah.
But not an easy game to play against, because it could all happen pretty quickly.
Yep.
Then, having had that bye, beat Jaden Billiam, young up-and-coming player, 8-6 in the last 32.
Yep. It's not easy when you've been sitting and waiting, especially after Jaden had a good start as well in his first match.
Yeah, he was playing against Carl Morris. We were saying earlier on comms, something like a 30-year age gap between those two players. Some moments in that match as well. I don't know if you saw any of it, but there was that incident where Carl couldn't play a shot because the light was in the way.
Oh no, I didn't.
He was trying to play, it was like a swerve shot, but he kind of needed to elevate his cue to try and screw back. He'd ended up a bit too close to a ball, and the light on the table he was playing on was a bit too low. So he's calling various tournament officials over to complain about it, but ultimately it wasn't like they could lift the table up, so had to play it. So he then ended up borrowing 3/4 of a cue from somebody in the crowd and played a phenomenal last couple of shots. So it was an entertaining passage of play.
Always is when Carl's about.
Yeah, it seems to be a bit of drama. Well, for a man whose nickname is the Hammer, no surprise to find him giving the break the treatment.
Yeah, it's a good break, that is. He's got a little bit of work to do with those three reds being all close together. I'm not sure if one passes the other one, if the outside one of the three to the left. If that passes, it will make this a lot easier, because he could just stun this and then put the next one in the same bag and move the black. If the black doesn't go, of course. He doesn't like that. I think he's moved the white over too far.
Yeah, you can take so much from the player's body language.
Yeah.
You can see the frustration there. It's obviously not a disaster. He's got other options, but
Yeah.
have to reroute now.
Yeah, he could just play this and then get the white where he wanted it in the first place. I still expect him to take these out. It's not like he's got to whack the black out. He's just got to run into the yellow, just to free the black.
Top players are very good at that kind of shot. You just don't have to overdo cannons, just nudge the ball, try and take some of the risk out of it.
Yep. Maybe the black goes anyway.
Well, you may have to hope that it does, because I'm not sure he's got quite the right angle here.
Yeah, I think I can't quite tell on our screens, but judging how he's gone about it, the black obviously goes.
So try and get fairly close to this, because it's obviously going to be very tight to get
Just
past
anywhere
the
near the yellow.
Oh, that's a lovely shot.
Yep.
Couldn't put it better with his hand. This is what Stevie Dempsey can do. Takes the miss in the first frame and converts it, then immediately hits back with one of his own.
Yeah, all the top players do that. They punish your mistakes and then kick on themselves. You know, it's hard, it's going to be tough, but it's not going to be a want of trying.
Sitting at number 2 in the ranking, Stevie Dempsey. He's had a very strong last couple of years, particularly his 2023 season.
Yeah.
Went toe-to-toe with Tom Cousins in a season that Tom Cousins really, by all rights, should have run away with. He'd won so much stuff.
Yeah.
Took it to the last event of the season, could potentially have taken the number 1 spot there. Had that weird passage in one of the events in Blackpool in 2023 where Stevie got to both finals, the 2 pro events, and lost to Tom Cousins in both of them. But then went on to win 2 more pieces of silverware himself in the Pro Series. He's been a prolific tournament winner in the last couple of years.
Yeah. Well, you don't get to number 2 in the ultimate pool ranks if you're not a good player and winning events.
Right now, the way it's going, Tom Cousins is kind of the de facto number 1 because he's so far ahead and everyone else is playing for the next spot. So right now, Stevie leading that pack along with Declan Brennan, who had a great 2024.
Yeah, you can only see Tom Cousins getting stronger and stronger as well. He's not going to just disappear. He's going to continue to win events. It's just up to the rest of us to try and close those gaps.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to take inspiration from it, don't you? The way he goes about it. It's such a laid-back style.
Yeah, 100%. I think he's, pardon the pun, I think he's the ultimate pool pro. He really is. He's such a good guy to talk to. You know, he's incredible to watch. Yeah, he ticks all the right boxes.
Yeah, hard not to root for him. Stevie's actually going to, that ranking I was talking about was the end of last season ranking. He's going to lose a lot of the ranking points that he won in 2023, so want to have a good year this year to make up for it. Declan's probably provisionally going to be ahead of him because of the season he had last year. Good chance this for Rob to make amends after that first frame.
Yeah, this is a very important visit for Rob. Not just based on the score, it's also for his own self-belief. Gives you the confidence to kick on yourself if you can take a clearance out after a bit of a mistake.
It was a tough pot, that, when they're just off the cushion like that. It was missable. Given the way he'd played so far in the frame, you weren't expecting a miss.
No, I didn't expect him to miss that. And I know they're not gimmies, but I expected him to get it. And again, it's the one mistake. Stevie will clear these, and then with his break, it could be 4-0.
Yeah, when you first say a race to 8, it sounds like it's a reasonably long match, but it can all happen pretty quickly at this standard.
Yeah, race to 8 at this standard isn't a long race at all. It's still a little bit of a lottery on who's going to win, you know.
Although in a way that's what you want. You can have practically do it, obviously, but you can have a tournament with race to 20s, but you'd just be making it increasingly likely that the likes of Tom Cousins would never make any mistakes.
Yeah, and there you are. This is for 3-0. Stevie Dempsey to break.
Yeah, playing alternate breaks, but it is Stevie up next. 13 minutes used up off the match clock, still 37 remaining, so plenty of time in this game.
Yeah, I don't think the match clock will be a factor, to be honest.
No, it hasn't been very much so far. Playing a slightly longer race. Last season we were playing with a 50-minute match clock and races to 7, so you pretty much guaranteed the matches were going to finish. Race to 8, maybe slightly more chance it comes into play, but still, most of the games we've seen today have proceeded at a fair pace.
Yeah, I think Kyle Cope and Tom Cousins match that I commentated on earlier, it finished 8-5, and I think there was about 7 or 8 minutes left of that. So it could have easily have gone to a decider within that time.
Yeah, least performance that match from Tom Cousins, wasn't it? He'd only lost 1 frame in the previous 2 matches, lost 5 in that one.
Yep.
Obviously, I'm joking when I say least performance, but it was taken to a closer result, let's say.
Yeah, I mean, it was a match that Kyle could have won. He had chances, not great chances, but the 5 he won, I think he did 5 clearances. So it's a tough school out there.
Obviously, it's all about momentum at the standard of the game, so Stevie would love to keep it swung his way. Keep Rob parked in his chair, both in terms of the scoreline and because it gives Rob something to think about when he's had those 2 chances.
Yeah, 100%. Like I say, that last chance was more than what the scoreline was. You just can't see Stevie making a mistake from here.
No, he's been very clinical, hasn't he? That's just the hallmark of his game in the last couple of seasons. He's always been a good player, but just seems to have elevated it a little bit further. That's where confidence really does breed confidence. Playing so much, and that run where he was constantly in finals in the 23 season, he was just out in this arena all the time. It's almost acting like a practice for him.
Yeah, similar to what I said about Tom Cousins, it's become like a second home to 1, 2, maybe 3 of these players. So they are a lot more comfortable than others. But like I say, it's up for the rest of us to make it uncomfortable for them,
Yeah, and I mean, nothing lasts forever. You see at any sport, people have periods of dominance. The margins are actually pretty small between the players for the most part. Maybe you'd say Tom Cousins does just have that little bit extra over the field at the moment that's going to take a bit more closing. Between pretty much everyone else, it's not that much between them. So halfway to the winning mark, needs to get to 8. He's 4-0 up at the moment. Not too much for Rob to be upset about. It's more just the fact that he's had a couple of presentable chances. I mean, you can easily end up against Stevie Dempsey 4-0 down without really doing anything. He's going to obviously have to slightly reflect on the fact that he has had 2 half-decent chances to win at least 2 frames.
Yeah, definitely. It's just pool. Mistakes happen. Not everybody plays perfect pool every time. And the top players punish you for it. It's just part and parcel of the game. If you're not on your top form, you'll get punished. You see how Rob broke a bit more powerful there compared to his first break.
Yeah, you've got to like that break. Made a really solid connection with the pack, and he's been rewarded for it.
Yeah, he breaks really, really well. So if he can get that going and get some, just keep the chances coming, hopefully he can start converting them.
I think right now he just wants a clearance to settle himself down, doesn't he? He just wants
Yeah.
to feel like he's part of this match.
Yep. Yeah, I think sometimes you just need that first frame in the main arena just to set yourself down. Hopefully he can convert this chance and before the match gets completely away from him.
Yeah, that's the thing. At 4-0, you're still feeling you want to get into the match and it's all to play for. Once you start slipping 5-6 behind, it almost feels like you're just playing for respectability at that point. This looks good. To track a path down the centre of the table. Just maybe come a roll further than he wanted, just a little bit hampered, but it should still be fine.
Yeah, I think he's been a little bit unlucky there. He's played that lovely to come through the gap and come down, and now he's hampered on both yellows, really. I mean, luckily he only needs to drop the bottom yellow of the two, because then he can take the yellow into the right middle.
Yeah, just going to play one good shot here, drop the ball into the right centre, and then he's back in position.
I think he's actually under it, this. He's made this a lot harder than it should have been.
It was just the fact he was hampered there, because if you're not, it's just much easier to judge the shot.
Yeah, definitely, mate. It's that's all that was. He played that really positive. A lot of us would just try and roll that in and make sure of it, but it shows that he's still got a positive mindset, which is good, which is what I want to see of my brother. He's definitely more of a puncher of a ball, and if he starts just rolling things in, that's when I know he's not fully himself.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good observation, isn't it? And that can be said of a lot of players. They're better when they're putting a full stroke on the shot rather than trying to tickle it in. Does sometimes cut the other way. Some players are just naturally good at floating balls in, but most players are better when they're putting the full stroke on.
Oh yeah, it does go.
Yeah, that's a bonus that the ball goes in this pocket. See, that was tight. It got very close to that red. Oh, this has been good from Rob.
Yep.
Under the pressure, of course, of being 4-0 down.
Yep. He's under it that a little bit, but I expect him to put this in the middle.
No mistake. So, opens his account. He'll be relieved. You're no doubt relieved to see him into this match. Yeah,
100%. And he's just give it the big into the crowd as well, which is what we want to see. Just having a laugh between themselves.
Yeah, both got something to be happy about. Stevie obviously fallen up in the match, but Rob now going to feel like he's a part of it.
Yep.
Referee Trish Murphy gets the ball set up.
What do you think of the new setup? You've obviously been around Ultimate Ball for a while now. We've moved away from hotels, which I know some people still might prefer, but to get arenas like this, it's impossible in this country to have this sort of thing in hotels.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to love it, haven't you? We've seen the full evolution. The first season, when Ultimate Pool started in 2021, the world was still coming out of the pandemic. It was played in pool clubs, then moved on to having more events at hotels. That was a big step forward. Felt like it was the right time to move forward. I think one of the things that's particularly better about this is just having more in the same room. The venue we were using in Blackpool was great in a load of ways, but it was a little bit fragmented. We had a few different rooms with the tables in. It meant that it was kind of hard to see what was going on around all the other things. It's kind of nice to feel more energy somehow in this room. Everyone's in the same place.
Yeah, I think I went into the arena too which is what it's officially called, but it's, where all the challengers play. There's very much a buzz in there with all the noise, with so many people in there. Everyone seems to be enjoying themselves. It looks absolutely insane in there.
Yeah, I mean, it's something you just don't see in the UK. The only time I've seen pool on that scale has been in Las Vegas, looking at some of the big American events where things like the Valley Nationals, where they hired out first the Riviera and then Bally's in recent years. Something like 212 tables in there. It's just a crazy scale.
That is ridiculous.
See, everything in America is always on a bigger scale, and everything in Las Vegas is always a bit crazy.
Yeah, it's a great place to visit. It's not a bad safety shot from Rob, that. I don't think Stevie can cut that back. So, no. I wonder if he's left Rob the gap to pot his bad yellow. I don't think he has. The fact that Rob hasn't jumped out of his seat and ran round to have a look.
Yeah, I think you'd be a bit more gleeful if there was that gap. That would have made a big difference, obviously.
Yeah.
Still got 6 balls in open play, though, so he's got options.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, got good white there.
Interesting frame, this. I would still like to see the attacking stuff, but tactical frame as well. Played within the constraints of the match and shot clock, so you're guaranteed it's not going to go on for too long.
Yeah, bit of a loose one from Stevie there. It's give Rob half a chance to actually go for this. I think with those 2 yellows towards the top, he could potentially play the yellow that's in the open in the bulk, could play off the red that's closest to the yellow. If he can pot that off the red, it'll open his bad yellow up. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not a great opportunity, but it's an opportunity. Something you don't always expect Stevie to give away.
No, and I think you've probably got to look at it that, are you realistically going to get a better chance than this? Probably not.
Yeah, and I don't know what angle he's got. We can pot that and go into it, or... He's playing it with top, so he's going straight into him. Yeah, that's a tough one. If the yellow goes, then he's got a small chance here. And from that angle, it doesn't look like that yellow goes, does it? So what he could do here is play the yellow bottom left and play the long yellow up top in off that red again. Or is he going straight into it? Straight in, but he could be enough. That's a problem with going that way at the angle. That's what I wanted the yellow to do. Where he could have dropped that yellow in and then played the yellow off the red and do that to bring the yellow out.
Yeah, it's a tough one, that. There was always a risk of that, but you can see what he was thinking.
Yeah, I'll tell him where he's gone wrong later on when I see him.
Most people after they've lost a match love that kind of advice.
Yeah, of course they do, especially my brother. We never fall out over stuff like that, never.
It's annoying as well, because leaving ball in hand like that, it just makes a finish that was already likely for Stevie, just made it even easier for him to get started with.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad Rob went for the clearance because it shows he's still trying to be positive. I think he's just missed a slight opportunity there to, instead of going in with the white like that, go off the yellow. Go with the yellow, sorry, off the red rather than the white. But like I said to Tony earlier, I've played unbelievable pool sitting there watching it on the telly and talking about it. It's a lot different when you're actually on the table trying to play these shots. Sometimes you don't see those shots that you do sitting here watching.
Well, that's the thing. When you're sitting here watching, your whole focus is on looking at that kind of thing, and you're looking from this sort of elevated position. Like when you're down, you just, in the heat of battle, you just don't see the same things.
No, exactly. It's hard to be overcritical, but Rob will be disappointed with that. He's made 3 mistakes, and it shows he's 5-1 down, you know.
So over to one of the outside arena tables where Lucy Smith is playing Colette Hendrickson. The score's tied at 4 apiece in this match.
Colette Hendrickson, I remember playing. She was in the England squad over 20 years ago when I started playing for England. That's mad.
It's always impressive longevity in any game. People just having the focus to want to stay at the top of a game for a long time.
Yeah, it's not easy. It was such a good squad back then. I think it was 99, 1999 or 2000. A long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, that was the
It's all right to do that.
Well, Stevie Dempsey's a perfect example of that. He's great fun off the table, but he has his business head on for a lot of the time when he's playing a shot.
That's actually landed pretty good.
Yeah, he can get through later on to the ball over the bottom left, so I didn't need to move that. He's landed on the difficult one up the left rail. Just needs to dig into this cue ball, draw the white back a bit. Oh, he's played that really nicely.
Yeah, I didn't expect him to miss that. The tables are playing nice for those sort of shots. You've not got to hit them hard, which makes them shots even easier to play, to be honest with you.
Another well executed shot. Didn't have to get as close to this ball as he did, but just trying to really perfect the position.
It's so easy to lose the white. The table does play ridiculously quick. So, yes, you can tell he's a man in form.
Yeah, he just has a sort of quiet confidence about him, doesn't he? He's not doing anything outlandish, but just always seems to be playing the right shot.
right shot at the right time, and he's playing them well. It's a pretty lethal combination.
Yeah, I mean, you can see how he's getting to so many finals playing like this. Still impossible, isn't it, to pick a winner? I mean, maybe Tom Cousins you always see as a favourite, but even looking down the players that have got through to the last 16 and quarters, it's just, you say, oh, yeah, that guy looks in form, and then you're like, well, so does that one, to be honest.
Yeah.
But in a way, that's what's quite nice. I mean, if the same player's winning all the time, it's obviously nice for them, but perhaps makes it a little bit less interesting for the neutral. We've got the first 3 of our quarterfinals lined up already. First match tomorrow will be Tom Cousins against Ian Ali, Shane Thompson against Carl Sutton, and the third match, Craig Warningham against Aaron Davis. The winner of this match will play the winner of our final match of the night, which is getting underway on the secondary feature table, which is being streamed on YouTube at the moment. Rob Warne about to get started against Declan Brennan.
Yeah, that Tom Cousins versus Ian Ali will be a great match. Ian's always bang up for matches like that. He's one player that lives for playing the top players. Yeah, that'll be a great match to watch.
Just momentarily lost the match clock, but it's just over 22 minutes remaining, so time not a major factor at the moment. It's operational out in the arena, so the players will be able to see it. We're just updating our graphic. Right now it's not so much about time, it's about number of frames. Rob just wants to get a few chances, just start trying to close that gap.
Yeah, this isn't an easy clearance.
No, it's one that he kind of wants to go for because he doesn't want to leave anything, and obviously he wants to try and narrow the gap, but
That's a good shot.
it's got a bit to do.
Yeah, I mean, as we've just seen from the overhead, I think this red at the bottom of the table goes to bottom right. It doesn't look like it goes bottom left. I don't think Rob can get on that. That's a good shot as well. He's played that really well. Yeah, just having a look now. Look where he's putting, where he wants the white. He is going for it, bottom right. Don't know if he can screw straight down the rail or he's got to come across twice. I think he can just screw it straight down the rail. Just got to cheat the bag a little bit. Oh, he's under it, that. He's under it, that, by a week and a half. But I think he's still on it, but it's a lot harder shot to play.
It's going to feel pretty big as well, isn't it? 6-1 down. How important is this moment?
Yeah, that was a horrible shot.
Not far away. It'd have been nicely on the 8 ball if he just catches a hair thinner. It's always the problem this though, when you miss your last ball, the other guy's just got so many more options.
And because we are playing to a shot clock, I mean, Stevie's going to go for these, but he could literally just not go for it. It doesn't actually matter. He's 6-1 up. I don't know how long's left because the clock's not on my screen.
Got a bit over 20.
Yeah, it's just over halfway, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we just, in fact, just dipped below the 20 I'm hearing in my ear, but yeah, still a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah. So there's no need to push the boat out of this. The only problem is now, in this scenario, is Rob isn't just going to try and roll onto the red. He's going to try and hit it hard. And he could end up fluking it.
Oh, but unlucky to get around the back there. So ball in hand for Stevie. Comes around immediately to look at the two problem balls.
He obviously
Intercepted from the overhead. It doesn't look like he can get through that gap.
No.
Maybe he can just. So everything opened up to his liking now. He can go for this finish.
Yep. Yeah, he's not going to miss these. He's not got a lot to do with the white. He can just roll everything in if he wanted. I mean, he's under it that, but it still doesn't matter. He can just roll this in or screw it in off the top rail. He screwed it off the top rail.
Yeah, he hasn't got the memo about rolling things in. He's going to play everything a bit firmer.
Yeah, he's one of those players that wants to punch a ball in.
That's another good shot. When that hit the cushion, I thought it was going way wide, and the side checked it up.
Yeah, a lot of right-hand side and left-hand side on that one.
It's not perfect on the 8 ball, but he doesn't mind. Such a good potter.
No, I don't expect him to miss this.
Wow. That's a collector's item.
He was a little bit loose with his positional play there. I don't know if he took the clearance for granted, but he didn't seem to have the same focus going for that as he did the previous frames. Tough shot this. That's a great shot, Rob.
Oh, how well's he hit that?
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Big difference as well. That would have been 7-1, but Rob gets it back to 6-2.
Yep.
Still in with a glimmer of a chance. So 16 minutes 27 on the match clock. That match clock is paused where the referee racks up the balls. Time to get into it. Needs to win 4 frames to get to a 6-round shootout, or 5 for the absolute win. Plenty of time in 16 minutes to do that. The question is, can he keep Stevie away from the table for long enough?
Yeah, I think what Rob needs to do here is obviously punish Stevie's error. Now he needs to clear these up, get a ball off the break, clear them up, and then plant. It'll be a minimal bit of doubt in Stevie's mind. I mean, he looks like he still doesn't care. To be fair, he's one of those players that, you know, he's just nice and calm. Well, that was a huge break.
Oh, look how well these reds have come out as well.
Yeah, and you know, he can't afford any more mistakes. He can't afford to not take these chances. And like I say, if he can take this, and then all of a sudden it's gone from being 7-1 to 6-3 in the matter of a couple of minutes.
Yeah, at the moment Stevie's not going to be too worried about that mistake. 6-2 is alright, but if Rob can add a couple more to that tally, suddenly he's going to have something to think about.
I think he's left it short. Oh wow. He's going to have to play a good shot here. He's going to have to go for the one on the rail, bottom left, and screw up, because I do not think he can get this. He'll be absolutely livid with himself there. He's going for the double. Oh, nearly. But yeah, another chance goes.
Yeah, he's going to be annoyed with that one, because coming on the heels of the miss from Stevie in the previous frame, it was a chance to apply some pressure. So not left anything easy, but such a good chance after the break.
Yeah, that's where he'll be frustrated, because he's been pretty solid all day. Yeah, that one will annoy him a lot.
Stevie's played a good shot there. He's
Yeah.
picked out a nice line.
thing is, Rob can't hang about either, because the time is ticking. Yes, there's plenty of time, but the time is ticking. And with him being so many frames behind, that's an absolute cracker of a shot.
Kind of forced into that, wasn't he? There wasn't much else, so had to go for it and played it really nicely.
That's an unbelievable shot. Yeah, he didn't have any angle on it. He's actually been unlucky to leave that angle, to be honest.
He's going to have to do this the hard way. He's got himself out of trouble, and unfortunately he's now got himself back into it.
Yeah, he's going to have to go side rail, off the top cushion and pot it.
Oh, how close was that?
Yeah, very close, but I don't think... yeah, he's not going to be happy. I know he's not. And I've been told that Stevie Dempsey is possibly the best player on tour with managing the time. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, he's certainly right up there. I think that's where keep getting to the latter stages is just so useful, because when you're playing on the outside arena tables, you're very often not playing under the same timed conditions, so you just don't get the same practice.
Yeah.
Very few players are going to have had more of that practice than Stevie in recent months. So we get our own time update, 12 minutes 45-ish on the match clock. So a couple of minutes time and then we're going to be dropping into that shorter shot clock. I don't know how much experience Rob would have had of playing with that 15-second shot clock before.
None. Other than playing in the Champions League on the Monday night. It's not something we've ever played. We've played like with a minute clock or 30 seconds, but 15 takes it to a whole new level.
Yeah, 15 you just don't have time to think about different options. Basically, once you're down and committed to one shot, you've just got to go with it.
Yeah.
The thing that most people find hardest is the transition. When we first move to that period, you're used to playing with the 30, and then the first couple of shots at that quicker shot clock can easily catch you out.
Yeah, like, it's caught me out before when I first played it. I think it was about 3 years ago since I played it, maybe 4 years ago. Playing with the shot clock with that, and it was catching me out. Not to the point where I was time fouling, but I was trying to have a look, and all of a sudden the beeps are going, and then you end up trying to rush balls, and it definitely affects you. But like you say, if you're constantly in this arena under these conditions, you soon learn to manage that.
Yeah, where the likes of Stevie and Tom Cousins and the players that are playing under it so much are so good is that they just don't look rushed. For most people, as you say, when you get down to sort of 3-2-1, you're just diving to play a shot, but they always just look like they've got all the time in the world still.
Yeah. We see now a little bit more concentrated Stevie is on this clearance.
Yeah, he must have been missing this 8 ball.
No.
And doesn't. So, should have been 7-1. It gets it to 7-2 now, which is 1 foot through to the quarter-final. 10 minutes 45 remaining, so still time for Rob, but he's going to have to find 5 frames from somewhere. Looks like Steve is enjoying himself as well you might with that kind of lead.
Yeah, both of them will be enjoying themselves out there. It's not so much can Rob win the 5 frames. Yes, he can, but he's also relying on Stevie either making a mistake, missing balls, or breaking dry or going in off. So once you're at the stage where you're relying on your opponent, it becomes a hell of a lot harder.
Yeah, that's always the challenge, isn't it? At this level, it's very rare to get 5 pure chances one after another without the other guy having a chance. And right now, if Stevie takes any of those frames, he's won the match.
Especially with this break as well, to be fair. there's one.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what Rob needed. He was going to have
Yeah.
to hope for some kind of misfortune on Stevie's part.
He's also got to get a bit of a wriggle on as well, because, I mean, time is probably, 10 minutes or just under. Oh, there we are. Went a bad guess.
Going to hear the chime in a shot or two's time for the
Yep.
introduction of the 15-second shot clock.
Yeah. So he's playing a little bit quicker now, which could possibly suit Rob a little bit. So he hasn't got time to overcomplicate things.
Yeah, I mean, I think in some ways when you're under a bit of pressure, the quicker play, so you hear the chime in the background, can help because you haven't got any time to be nervous or dwelling on what's about to happen.
Oh dear.
It could be costly though.
I don't know if he's just had a massive kick or he's made an absolute horrific error.
So Stevie's going to be straight after this combination shot.
No. You couldn't do the combination shot, hit it at that pace.
So 15-second shot clock. We're going to hear those beeps a lot. Oh, that's gone all wrong. Can't blame him for that. Had to just try and make something happen.
Yeah.
So now just the victory lap for Stevie Dempsey. Just 6 frames to book his place in tomorrow's quarterfinals.
Yeah, I can't see Stevie making another mistake, to be honest.
It's just not much to do, is it? These balls all in open possible positions. Rob's played his part in this match, but Stevie Dempsey just ultimately had a bit too much for him.
Yes, and there you go, match over. Well done, Stevie Dempsey.
Well, all credit for Rob Chambers, played his part there, but Stevie Dempsey does what he's done to so many opponents before, just smashes his way through.